Welcome to the Madison Miller Podcast. Today is Tuesday, February 20th, 2024. Today I'm going to recap the college basketball from yesterday, look ahead to tonight's games. Then we have the NHL, we have soccer, we have NASCAR, the portfolio, news and notes, and best bet. We'll start with college basketball. We'll go over the results from yesterday and look ahead to tonight's games. All right. Just hang on one second. Colgate over Lafayette, 67-62. Vatech over Virginia, 75-41. Lamar over Southeast Louisiana, 77-72 in OT. SC State over Howard, 75-68. Delaware State over Morgan State, 80-58. A&M Commerce over Incarnate Word, 76-72. Nichols over New Orleans, 89-77. Charleston over William & Mary, 65-57. Maryland Eastern over Coppin State, 75-67. A&M Corpus Christi over Northwestern State, 72-61. Texas Southern over Southern, 68-56. Bama State over Miss Valley State, 61-46. Bama A&M over Pine Bluff, 75-67. Alcorn over Florida A&M, 79-68. Grambling over Prairie View, 83-74. Jackson State over Bethune, 61-60. Number 2 Houston over number 6 Iowa State, 73-65. Texas over Kansas State, 62-56. And Norfolk State over NC Central, 80-74. All right, tonight's game, 6:30 on Fox Sports 1. We have Butler at Villanova. My line is Villanova, 7 3/4. I did not do totals today. I apologize about that. And it is 6.5 and 141.5. I'm over. 7 o'clock, SEC Network, number 5, Tennessee at Missouri. My line is Tennessee 11.2, and it is 11.5 and 147.5. I'll go over there as well. Syracuse, NC State on ESPN 2. My line is NC State 2.9. And we have 5.5 and 152.5. I'll take Syracuse to cover. BC, FSU on ACC Network. My line is FSU 1.7. And we have 3.5 and 150.5. Over. UCF, West Virginia, ESPNU. My line's West Virginia 1.9, and it's UCF 1.5, total 142.5. I'll take West Virginia plus the 1.5 and plus 110 to win. Iowa, Michigan State. My line is Michigan State 8.3, and it's 9.5, total 154.5. I'll go over. Arkansas, Texas A&M on ESPN. My line is A&M by 5.5. And A&M is giving 10.5, totals 145. I'll take Arkansas and the points. Fordham, Davidson. My line is Davidson by 3, and it's 6.5 and 135. I'll take Fordham and the points. St. Louis, Duquesne. My line's Duquesne by 10, and it's 8.5 and 151.5. I'll go over. VCU, UMass on CBS Sports Network. My line's VCU 2.5. And it's UMass 2.5, total 144.5. I'll take VCU plus the points and plus 125 outright. Akron, Toledo. My line is Akron 0.8. And it's Toledo 2.5, total 150.5. I'll take Akron plus the 2.5 and plus 116 outright. Kent State, Ohio. My line is Ohio 2.8. And it's 3.5 and 147.5. I'll go over. Miami of Ohio at Western Michigan. My line is Miami of Ohio 2.2. And it's 3.5 and 142.5. I like the over. Bowling Green, Central Michigan. My line is Central 1 3/4, and it's 1.5 and 139.5. That's an over. Eastern Michigan, Buffalo. My line is Eastern Michigan 1.4. And it's Buffalo 1.5, total 145.5. I'll take Eastern plus the points and plus 108 to win. Southern Indiana, Morehead State at 7:30. My line's Morehead 18.2. And I don't see the line. for this game, amazingly enough. I don't think there's a line posted. Oh, well. 8 o'clock, Ball State at Northern Illinois. Mine's Northern 2.5. It's 1.5 and 145.5. I like the over. Game of the night, 8:30 on Fox Sports 1. Number 1 UConn, number 15 Creighton. Mine's UConn 1.5. And it's 2.5 and 144.5. I like the over. The runner-up for game of the night, 9 o'clock on ESPN, number 11 Baylor at number 25 BYU. My line is Baylor by 1.5. And it is BYU by 4.5, total 154.5. I'm taking Baylor in the points and plus 158 outright. I don't know why BYU is favored. Vegas knows. But Baylor should be favored. CBS Sports Network at 9 o'clock, number 19, San Diego State at Utah State. My line is Utah State by 1/5, and it's 2.5 and 144.5. I'm going to take San Diego State plus the 2.5. ESPN 2, TCU at number 23, Texas Tech. My line is Tech 1.7. And it's 5.5 and 146.5. I'll take TCU in the points. Pitt Wake Forest on the ACC Network. My line is Wake 1.5. And it is 5.5 and 145. And I'll take Pitt in the points. Maryland, Wisconsin on Peacock. My line's Wisconsin 5.8, and it is 7.5 and 130.5 over. 10:30 on Fox Sports 1, San Jose State, Boise State. Line's Boise 12.8. And it's 14.5 and 141.5. I like the over. 11 o'clock ESPN 2, San Francisco number 18, St. Mary's. Mine St. Mary's 5.3, and it's 7.5 and 132.5. I'll take San Francisco in the points. And last but not least, 11 o'clock CBS Sports Network, Wyoming, Nevada. Mine's Nevada by 9. And it's 14.5 and 144.5. I'll take Wyoming and the points. NHL, we'll go over yesterday's results and look ahead to tonight's games. Ducks over the Sabres 4-3. Bruins over the Sabres 4-3 in a shootout. Leafs over the Blues 4-2, so best bet lost. Wild over the Canucks 10-7. Red Wings over the Kraken 4-3, no Tate. Flames over the Jets 6-3. Oilers over the Coyotes 6-3. Golden Knights over the Sharks 4-0. Canes over the Blackhawks 6-3. Sens over the Lightning 4-2. All right, tonight's slate, 7 o'clock. You have the Stars at the Rangers. The Rangers going for 8 in a row with one of the best in the league coming into town. They're minus 150. The Stars are plus 125. Over under 6.5. Overs even money. Unders minus 122. Stars plus 1.5 is minus 192. Rangers minus 1.5 is plus 158. I'm dreading this pick, but I'm taking the Dallas Stars outright. This is a letdown spot for the Rangers after that big win at MetLife outside. So they have a hot team coming in, and the hot team was more points in the standings than the Rangers, is an underdog of over plus 120. Everybody loves the Rangers. Give me the Stars plus 125. Sens Panthers. Panthers minus 245. Sens plus 198. Over under 6.5. Overs minus 130. Unders plus 106. Panthers minus 1.5 is minus 108. Sens plus 1.5 is minus 111. I'm laying the puck line with the Panthers. Isles Pens. Pens minus 144. Isles plus 120. Over under 5.5. Overs minus 124. Unders plus 102. Pens minus 1.5 is plus 168. Isles plus 1.5 is minus 205. I'm going to lay it with the Pens. I know some may say bounce back for the Islanders, but not yet. And the Dallas Stars line just went down to plus 118, so everybody's probably betting them. Devils Caps. Devils minus 166. Caps plus 138. Over under 6.5. Minus 110 each way. Devils minus 1.5 is plus 140. Caps plus 1.5 is minus 170. I like the over. The Caps is enticing for the same reason the bet against the Rangers, a letdown spot for the Devils. Wild Jets at 8. Jets minus 150, Wild plus 125, over under 5.5. Overs minus 120, unders minus 102. Wild plus 1.5 is minus 194. Jets minus 1.5 is plus 160. I like the under. 9 o'clock, Canucks Avs Western Final preview. Avs minus 146, Canucks plus 122, over under 6.5. Overs minus 115, unders minus 105. Canucks plus 1.5 is minus 192. Avs minus 1.5 is plus 158. I'm going to take the Canucks plus 122. This is a bounce back spot after that Wild game. No pun intended. 10 o'clock, Preds Golden Knights. Vegas minus 137, Preds plus 114, over under 5.5. Overs minus 132, unders plus 108. Preds plus 1.5 is minus 105. Vegas minus 1.5 is plus 168. I like the under at plus money. Last but not least, 10:30, Blue Jackets Kings. Kings minus 50, Jackets plus 202, over under 6.5, minus 10 each way. Jackets plus 1.5 is minus 118. Kings minus 1.5 is minus 102. I like the over. Don't feel strong about it, though. All right, now move on to soccer. We'll go over the results of note from yesterday and look ahead to anything tonight. We will start with the results. So La Liga yesterday, Athletic over Girona 3-2. Premier League yesterday, Everton and Crystal Palace was a 1-1 draw. And now today, 2:30 is Man City Brentford. Man City is probably going to be a monster favorite, like minus 500. Man City minus 650, Brentford 15-1. The draw is 7-1. I like under 3.5 goals, minus 104. Who else played yesterday of notable soccer? I don't remember, but I know somebody did. All right, UEFA Champions League. Today at 3 o'clock, you have Inter Milan and Atletico. Inter's minus 160, Atletico plus 490, draw plus 480. Over 2.5 goals, plus 106. PSV Dortmund at 3. PSV plus 105, Dortmund plus 230, draw plus 270. I kind of like the draw plus 270. That's a good number. All right, the Women's Gold Cup today, 7:30. Mexico and Argentina. I'm going to see if these lines are posted. They are not. But I'm going to say Mexico wins that one. And then 10:15 is U.S. against Dominican Republic. U.S. is going to win. CONCACAF Champions Cup. Round 1, first leg, St. Louis, Houston. St. Louis plus 105, Houston plus 210, draw plus 240. St. Louis at home plus 105. And at 10 o'clock, you have Saprissa, Philly. Saprissa is plus 115. The Union are plus 190. The draw is plus 240. I'm surprised Saprissa is favored. This is a hard one. I kind of like the draw at plus 240. I think Philly's going to give them a game, and I think Saprissa's a little overvalued. We have a couple EFL today, 2:45. You have Cardiff and Blackburn. Cardiff 2-1, Blackburn plus 140. The draw's plus 220. Kind of like Blackburn plus 140 on the road as a favorite. Ipswich, Rotherham. Ipswich minus 550. Rotherham 11-1. The draw's plus 550. Under 2.5 goals plus 144. Plymouth, West Brom. West Brom's even money. Plymouth is plus 250. And the draw's plus 250. So this is a tough one. I'm going to go with West Brom at even money. Actually, that's not a tough one. The next one's a tough one. Southampton Hull. I was looking at the wrong one. Southampton's minus 10, Hull's plus 490, draws plus 350. I'm going to go with the over 3.5 goals at plus 132. And then Liga MX tonight, 8 o'clock, we have Puebla Pachuca. Pachuca minus 105, Puebla plus 230, draw plus 280. Wow. Give me Pachuca minus 105 on the road. And then 10 o'clock, Necaxa, Guadalajara. Necaxa plus 250, Guadalajara plus 105, the draws plus 230. Guadalajara cost me my best bet the other day. I'm mad at them, but we're going to go back to that route and take them at plus 105. So let me just double check to make sure there's no games in a couple of the other leagues we cover. No Premiership. No Eredivisie till Friday. No Saudi Pro League till Friday. All right, now move on to NASCAR. We'll recap the races from yesterday. We'll start it off with the big one, the Daytona 500. Your winner was William Byron, coming in second. Alex Bowman, third. Chris Bell, fourth. Corey LaJoy, fifth. Bubba Wallace, sixth. AJ Allmendinger, seventh. John Hunter Nemechek, eighth. Eric Jones, ninth. Noah Gragson, 10th. Chase Briscoe. The rest: Kyle Larson, Kyle Busch, Zane Smith, Chase Elliott, Martin Truex Jr., Daniel Hemrick, Ty Gibbs, Chris Buescher, Denny Hamlin, David Reagan, Ross Chastain, Austin Cindric, Ryan Preece, Riley Herbst, Josh Berry, Justin Haley, Anthony Alfredo, Jimmy Johnson, Tyler Riddick, Ryan Blaney, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Joey Logano, Brad Keselowski, Daniel Suarez, Todd Gilliland, Michael McDowell, Austin Dillon, Kaz Grala, Harrison Burton, Carson Hocevar. So, really interesting race. Ended on a caution. And there was a big wreck with 8 laps to go as well. And then the Xfinity from yesterday, that was on after the Daytona 500, was on last night at 9 o'clock. Austin Hill won the race. Sheldon Creed second. Parker Retzlaff, Jordan Anderson, Chandler Smith, Riley Herbst, Jonathan Nemechek, Justin Allgaier, Brandon Jones, AJ Allmendinger. The rest: Ryan Ellis, Shane Van Gisbergen, Cole Custer, Blaine Perkins, BJ McClay, Garrett Smithy, Parker Emmerling, Natalie Decker, Brendan Poole, Jesse Love, Ryan Truex, Ryan Sieg, Sammy Smith, Anthony Alfredo, Parker Kligerman, Jeb Burton, Daniel Dye, Saja Karam, Jeremy Clements, Leyland Honeyman, Dawson Cram, Josh Belicki, Frankie Muniz, Josh Williams, Daniel Suarez, Sam Meyer, Haley Deegan, and Kyle Weatherman. All right, they're racing from Atlanta next weekend, and we'll preview and pick the races on the Friday podcast. All right, now we're going to do the portfolio. I have no clue where to go. I want to look at the NBA because we're approaching the return from the All-Star break. And I want to pick something fun. So there's some value on some awards. I mean, Kawhi's MVP took a hit because he got hurt. Defensive Player of the Year, Victor Wembanyama is 25-1. That's fun. Jalen Williams of the Oklahoma City Thunder, 16-1 for Most Improved. The Clutch Player of the Year, Steph Curry's the favorite. Jalen Brunson's 19-1 for that. Sixth Man of the Year, Malik Monk's the favorite there. The conferences, there's a conference one that's actually pretty good. This is just banking on the history with this one. It's too good not to pass up. I'm going to lay a tenth of a unit on the Miami Heat to win the East at 15-1. When are you going to get the Miami Heat at 15-1? A team that's been there and done that in the postseason year after year after year. A proven postseason player in Jimmy Butler. The best coach in the NBA in Eric Spoelstra. So why not? 15-1, the Miami Heat to win the East. Just laying a tenth of a unit on that one. All right, the news and notes for today. There's some things that we have to get into. NFL stuff. Panthers pass rusher Brian Bird's deal not close, as he's likely to receive a franchise tag after requesting $30 million annually. So that's a little crazy. Teams have checked in on Justin Fields as Bears staffers received inquiries from opposing teams at the Senior Bowl. The Patriots cut Adrian Phillips and Lawrence Guy. Wish I did the Pats podcast before that, but there's still more cut candidates on this team, I think. And Matthew Slater retired. One of the best special teamers in a long time and ever. So Patriots news there. And then last week, after I did the Bears podcast, they cut Eddie Jackson and Cody Whitehair. I called the Cody Whitehair one. I said that was my pick for most likely to be released on the Bears. But we'll see where those veterans end up as well. So Mbappe agrees to a Madrid deal. He gets a $161 million signing on bonus for the summer move, so that's a big deal. Some big baseball news. Hyunjin Ryu is returning to the KBO as he's said to be the highest paid player in the Korean League history. The Cubs signed David Peralta, so that's a good outfield depth piece. Mike Trout says that the Angels need trades as he's loyal but change mind if moves aren't made. He says there might be a time. Well, I would request a trade if I'm him because you lost Ohtani and that's not really replaceable for what he did. But we'll see if the Angels come up with anything. They have a terrible farm system and a roster full of aging players and overpaid players. There are no Bellinger-Cubs negotiations, as the Cubs owner says there's been some discussions, but it hasn't become a negotiation yet. There was a brawl after a college basketball game last night. I believe it was A&M Corpus Christi's game. Players and coaches involved in a fight that broke out during post-game handshake line. That's not cool. Rick Pitino went on a rant after St. John's loss on Sunday against Seton Hall. New AP polls out. I'm going to read it to you. I'll tell you what, Indiana State's definitely out of it because they lost both games. since being ranked. That was like the jinx. All right, 1 through 5. UConn, Houston, Purdue, Arizona, Tennessee, and UConn's unanimous, as they should be. 6 through 10, Iowa State, Marquette, Duke, Kansas, North Carolina. 11 through 15, Baylor, Illinois, Bama, Auburn, Creighton. 16 through 20, Dayton, Kentucky, St. Mary's, San Diego State, South Carolina. 21 through 25, Washington State, welcome to the rankings, Washington State. Colorado State, welcome to the rankings. Texas Tech, back in. Florida, welcome to the rankings, and BYU. Others, Virginia, Gonzaga, Wisconsin, Michigan State, TCU, South Florida, Florida Atlantic, New Mexico, Utah State, Grand Canyon, Nevada, Pitt, Clemson, McNeese, Drake, App State. And then dropping Wisconsin, Virginia, Indiana State, FAU, Oklahoma. So a lot of change in the rankings. South Carolina drops big. San Diego State gets in all the way to 19. BYU drops to 25. Colorado State's new. Texas Tech's back in the rankings. Florida's new to the rankings. Wazoo new to the rankings. Kentucky moved up 5 spots. Good for them. Iowa State moved up a couple spots as well. Kansas and Carolina both dropped. So that's your rankings look. All right. Blake Snell has a Yankees offer, and the Angels and the Giants remain options. I wouldn't sign with the Angels if I'm Blake Snell. The Giants would be more interesting. If the Yankees get Blake Snell, I think they repass the Orioles for the AL East. I think they are one number 2 pitcher away. You could argue maybe even a bat away if Giancarlo Stanton and Anthony Rizzo don't bounce back, but Orioles and Yankees to me are like the co-favorites in that division. I would do slightly into Baltimore only because they won it last year and they added Corbin Burns. But if the Yankees respond by adding that type of caliber of pitcher, then that flips again. So, but then again, if you're the Orioles, you're really relying on Kyle Bradish to have that year again. So that's the case for the Yankees, that a lot of the Oriole guys might regress from last year. Juan Soto says that the Yankees could win a world title. As he said, the Yankees have everything they need for a championship. I disagree with that. I think they need a number 2 starter and maybe even a bullpen arm. But they could address that at the trade deadline. I mean, I always say, like, you don't always have to have your team complete at the start of the season. You could always go out. And that's why the trade deadline exists. To make sure nobody gets hurt. So, Leo Messi apologizes to fans as he posts a video for Chinese supporters after failing to play in Hong Kong. So, the NBA news of yesterday is that the Brooklyn Nets have fired Jack Vaughn. We talked about that on podcast yesterday. But they made Kevin Ollie the interim head coach. Kevin Ollie, we remember him as a coach that won a title with the players that Jim Calhoun recruited in 2014. And they were an 8th seed. I mean, not that he did a bad job coaching, but he did win with mostly Calhoun's players that Jim Calhoun recruited. So that's the case that Kevin Ollie isn't this great coach. I mean, he ended up getting fired a couple years after that title because UConn was not playing well. And then they hired Danny Hurley. And the rest is history. So, we'll see how Kevin Ollie does. He really hasn't been heard from since the UConn run. And So he's UConn's coach until 2018. And then Dan Hurley took over. And Dan Hurley's been awesome at UConn. As we know, he won the title. So, we'll see how Molly does. If he can earn himself the full-time gig. I doubt it. Because the Nets are not that good of a team. So, we'll see. Mike Conley and the Timberwolves finalized an extension 2 for $22. Actually, not bad. I don't hate that extension for Mike Conley. Trae Young addresses trade rumors as he has no intentions of leaving the Hawks. He says, my mindset is staying in Atlanta right now. Nikola Jokic says that Doncic can join the Nuggets as he jokes that Luka should come to Denver if he gets pissed with the Mavs. That's funny. The Nationals are no longer for sale. As Mark Lerner says, family's no longer exploring sale of the franchise. So, I wonder what changed their minds. Anthony Rendon says something weird. He says MLB is not top priority. I mean, he's never healthy, Anthony Rendon. He's been a huge bust with the Angels. He hasn't been the same player since leaving the Nats and signing that big deal. So I find that confusing that he said that. I mean, being healthy and helping the Angels with Mike Trout should be your priority. So MLB still technically should be your priority in terms of baseball. All right, last but not least, my best bet of the day brought to you by FanDuel. I'm not going back to the well with Guadalajara for best bet, but I am going to that league for best bet. I'm laying 1/10 of a unit, and it's going to be on the other road favorite in Liga MX, and that is Puebla. Pachuca, -105 against Puebla. If this doesn't work out, so be it. We're doing it again with Liga MX. So there you have it for the show, and I'll be back tomorrow recapping everything and looking ahead to everything tomorrow as well. Hope you guys have a great day, everyone.